as you get towards.
Hey guys, Kraken Surf back again, and thank you for last week's video. It kind of went a little bit haywire, blew up a bit. But the thing we take out of it is there's some really good feedback, and I'll address some feedback today, especially about futures. So a lot of people switch to futures, and for a lot of varied reasons. I'm just going to show two reasons here. One being, thanks to the guy that said I waffle on too much. You're absolutely correct. This is all in one take. So if once I do this, I don't delete it, I just keep going. So if I mess up, I mess up. So two reasons why futures are good, and while they're probably market leaders. Some guys who have had FCS2 never had a problem with them, and that's okay. The video was basically about what I see doing repairs, like those boards over there, they're repairs, and what I see in shop repair. Okay, so here's an installed futures box. Now, obviously, the whole fin fits into that base. Okay, so it's distributing the pressure, the weight, the force along that box. You can see the little slots along the box. So when you actually install the box and you put it in properly, all the resin will come up through those holes. That's the way it's designed. Now, that's not to say you can't infill from the top, but generally, you know the box is right when the resin comes up through all those holes. You know you've got the installation correct. Doesn't mean it's along the bottom, but it gives you a better chance of seeing what's happening. So FCS2, you can't see that. So there you go, that's the box, and that's why it's long. So the whole pressure is distributed along the box. Okay, so the fin itself. So having a single tab, obviously mean for breakages, there's no sort of FCS1, you've got the two tabs which can snap. A lot harder to snap a base that's a long solid base. Now the holes obviously are for weight, so the more holes you can put in there, the less weight. So in the actual fin, so this is like an MR replica, very similar to the MR ones. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, just see it in the light there, all the different layers of glass. So yeah, if you can have a look there, basically again, you got all the layers of glass, gives it a lot of strength. The base along there, as I said, the weight and the force is distributed along that whole base. So it's generally going to be stronger, especially in the surf. It also, you can put a lot of load on that fin. It's not to say the box is going to come out. Boxes come out. I've repaired plenty of futures, but the ratio is about 8 FCS2 to 2 futures. So the installation process, drop it back, put it forward. So I'll try not to shake the camera too much. Is basically that process. Look, as I said, it's a lot stronger. You've got one long base, one long fin base, so there's less to snap. Less to snap, but in saying that, if you get enough load on the fin, that much load here, if you hit something, can always knock the box out. So if you hit a rock or a bit of reef straight on, then it's gonna knock the fin base. So this back part of the fin here, the fin box, it's gonna get busted up. So there's no getting around that. But side load on a twin fin, which is, I surf this board as a twin fin, side load means it shouldn't pop out. There should be enough strength along the box and along the base of this fin to stop it from happening. Does it happen? Yes, it does. So going through a lot of the comments from the last video, a lot of people like the futures just on the fact that long base, stronger. So the fin shouldn't snap itself. There are a lot more manufacturers for futures because they're a bit more open license, which means that I can make fins and I can produce future fins. So a lot of people like the fact that there's more choice in the fins. So I've got some here from Captain Fin Company. I've got some here from other manufacturers in China, and they're all futures based. In saying that, the boxes can still blow out. I've repaired futures boxes before. I've repaired FCS2 before. A lot of them are to impact damage. So if you've hit a rock or a reef, it's knocked the fin backwards and popped the back of the box. I have seen them blow out from side turns, but in saying that, sometimes it's just manufacturing, that they haven't put enough resin, they haven't put a reinforced cloth over the top. So installation is important. Back when I was taught to shape, we always had a square piece of cloth for the back of the board. We'd cut it on an angle or a bit of a curve, and we'd lay that down, and we'd put that from the probably about the 3/4 mark down the board to the tail, which covered all the fin boxes, so you had extra strength around the boxes. So sometimes putting another layer of cloth around the box from the front boxes to the back of the tail can actually make it a heap stronger. But yeah, most of the issues I've seen with Futures have been that it's been impact damage. So you've hit something. FCS2, that's where I sort of start to see snapped fins, especially the FCS1. I've actually fixed 2 this week. So 2 surfboards have come in. I've basically had to drill the FCS1 plug and pull out the snap part of the fin, which are the lugs. So yeah, that's what you all like about Futures, and I gotta say I agree. I've just switched to Futures recently from SCS Fusion, which I said in the last video. But yeah, I like the cant is in the fin, so the boxes can go straight in. Then the fin actually has the cant, whether it's 5 or 9 degrees. Some can be less, some can be more. So that's a good thing about Futures. Their cant's not in the box. With FCS, I have to order them in 5 degree or 9 degree. So generally 9 degrees for your front box, and if you're doing a quad, 5 degrees for your rear box. I have actually put 5 degree boxes in a Minimal in as the front boxes. As said, the center box for FCS2 is 0 degrees. But yeah, it was interesting comments about why you like Futures over FCS2. It was probably, yeah, I still think it was around 80% prefer Futures based on those facts. More fins, waffling again too. More fins, more choice, and less repairs. So thank you for all your comments and feedback, and see you next time. Bye.